It was just another lazy afternoon in Willow Creek, that sleepy Midwest town where folks still wave at strangers, and the biggest drama is usually who's winning the pie contest at the fair. But that day, everything flipped when these loudmouth thugs strutted into the corner brew like they owned the place, zeroing in on me, Marcus Thompson, just an old black vet nursing my black coffee in the back booth, thinking I was easy prey. They started with the usual crap, sneering about how people like me didn't belong. Their leader, this burly guy named Ray, leaning in close with that fake grin, saying, "Hey Gramps, why don't you shuffle on back to wherever you came from? This town's got standards." And I could feel the air thicken, the other patrons freezing up, but deep down, something stirred in me, a flicker of that old fire from my special ops days. Because I'd seen hate before, but this felt personal, like they were poking at scars I thought I'd buried. Emily, the sweet owner with her no-nonsense apron, tried to shut them down. "Get out before I call the cops, you hear?" But they just laughed, one of them spitting on the floor near my feet, muttering, "Nobody's coming for you, old-timer, not in our town." And as they sauntered out, I knew this wasn't random. These guys were part of something bigger, fueled by some twisted grudge over land grabs, wanting to push out folks who didn't fit their vision of a pure, profitable Willow Creek, all wrapped up in racism to rally the weak-minded. I didn't snap right away, nah. I sat there, sipping my coffee, mind racing back to Nam and the unit we called the Shadows, where trust meant everything. But then I stepped outside, and there they were in the alley, still yapping. And when I called him out, things got physical quick. Ray swung first, all bravado, but I dodged, grabbed his arm crack and twisted till he yelped like a kicked dog. And that's when his sleeve hiked up. No, wait, mine did, revealing that faded tattoo, the one only my old squad knew. And their faces went white, one stammering, That's like Vic's," and bam, it hit me. Victor Hayes, my old squad mate, the guy I'd pulled from a burning chopper back in the day, but he'd always resented it, thinking I stole his glory, and now here he was, rogue as hell, building this gang to seize control of Willow Creek's outskirts for some shady development deal, using hate to divide and conquer, preying on folks like me who stood in his way. I pressed him, "Tell me about Vic," and they spilled, terrified, how he twisted our code of loyalty into this poison, cleansing the town to flip properties, make bank, all while feeding off old jealousies. My blood boiled, not just anger, but betrayal, like a brother stabbing you in the back. And right then, I vowed I'd end it. Calm, let him tarnish what we fought for, or let him burn down lives for profit. From there, it escalated fast. I snuck to their rundown mill on the edge of town, heart pounding like back in the jungle, peering through cracked windows at maps circled in red, targets like Emily's cafe and family homes, all to scare out undesirables so Vic could swoop in with his investors. I tipped the cops, but they hemmed and hawed. "Need proof, sir." And that night, flames lit up the sky, gang hitting spots left and right. And I was out there, racing through smoke, busting up one arson attempt after another, like when I caught two of them at the hardware store, torch in hand, sneering, "This town's ours now. Fossil, step aside or burn with it." And I didn't. I charged, disarming one with a quick twist, the other fleeing with a busted nose. But regret not at Mui. Hadn't I seen Vic's darkness sooner, back when his rants about purity in the unit hinted at this rot? Teamed up with the cops finally, we stormed the mill, chaos exploding, fists flying, shouts echoing, "You're done, Vic." But he slipped away, smirking over his shoulder. "You can't stop progress, Marcus. This town's mine," leaving his goons to take the fall, and I chased him to that old cabin in the woods, where it all climaxed in a brutal showdown, knives flashing, punches landing with old grudges, him hissing, "I saved you once, but you were always the hero. Now watch me win." And I flipped him zip, tied his wrists, the fire crackling like our shattered bond, handing him over as dawn broke, the cops hauling him off, his empire crumbling. In the end, the trial nailed him guilty on all counts, life behind bars for arson, conspiracy. The works in Willow Creek started healing, folks rebuilding stronger, united against that hate-fueled greed. But here's the thing that sticks with me. Is it really over? Or does that poison linger in quiet corners, waiting for the next Vic to stir it up? Makes you wonder about justice, right? As locking one guy away fix the divides, or do we all gotta dig deeper? Anyway, If this hits home, drop a comment below. What would you do in my shoes? Face down that betrayal, or let it slide? Share your thoughts, smash that like if you're with me on standing up, and subscribe so we can chat more about these real-life twists. Stay strong out there.